Plaintiff Tanner has called the defendant Jack to court after putting a verbal eviction notice on his cheap-ass roommate. Jack claims that he is not a cheap-ass roommate and claims that Tanner is an unreasonable whack job. Tanner wants Jack out of their apartment Saturday night when he has friends over to watch the fight. Tanner believes Jack should not be there because he won't help pay for the pay-per-view. Jack refuses to pay and believes he should not only be allowed to be home during the fights, but also in the room the boys are all watching it in. It's cheap ass versus whack job. All rise for Judge Joe Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. Everyone can sit down. I appreciate it. Yeah. Every single Thursday we do this. We take you to court with Judge Joe Show. Calling you to court, too. It's your civic duty, all right? You got to be here. 800-409-9393. Jury. If you're listening right now, you better call in. 800-409-9393. You can text in at 97720. And thank you to Katie Summers for laying that out. We've got Tanner on who contacted us originally. Tanner, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Tanner, so the fight is on Saturday. You want your roommate gone. He's not paying his share in the fight, or what? Because it's a pay-per-view, right? You got to pay to watch it.
Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. They're like $60 a pop, and like we have a few buddies over, and basically he always wants to join us, but the last few times he hasn't like given us a dime. So this time I was just like straight up, bro, like quit being a broke bitch. Either pay and watch the pay-per-view with us, or get the hell out of the apartment for the night. And he's throwing a little fit about it.
Jack, you are on as well. Jack, you were just called a cheap ass, a broke bitch. A lot of words getting thrown around. What's life been like with your roommate recently? It's been rough?
I mean, I think bitch applies, but I think it applies to him. I mean, if I'm the cheap ass, why am I paying for the room that they're sitting in? You know what I mean? Like, just because I didn't pay for the pay-per-view, I'm still paying my rent, right? So
yeah. Sorry.
So why am I being asked to leave the place where I'm paying to be in? Because he paid $60. Who's the cheap ass?
So, Ashley, you are representing Tanner. Jack, who are you representing? Jack, all right. So that does mean that you've got Tanner, Jed, you almost have a leg up in this because you are the fight night guy. Of course. You know, I've gone over to yours and Katie Summers' house. Now that I realize, though, I've never given money. I've always brought, like, food and stuff like that, or alcohol.
Which is an acceptable form of payment for me. This is clearly a situation where, you know, I get where Tanner's coming from, because if you're not going to...
Well, he doesn't even do that, though. Like, we're going to get some cheeseburgers and stuff, and then he's going to eat all our cheeseburgers and then complain that the cheeseburgers have pickles on them.
Eat all
not
the
only
cheeseburgers?
A broke bitch,
are you out
he's
of
a
your
little
mind?
Non-pickle
Yeah, that's
bitch.
right. I'm the hamburglar over here. I'm eating all the... I wait until they're watching the fight, and I eat all the cheeseburgers.
Your Honor, I think he just admitted to something really bad right there.
But would...
Oh, that was sarcasm, Your Honor. I'm sorry if I have to be clear about that.
Your Honor?
You know,
I love that everyone is respecting me. I think that we have learned over the past couple Judge Joe shows, if you kiss my ass, you might win. Now everyone is, so I don't know what to do.
Damn it.
Go ahead, Ashley, you're representing Jack, who Jack lives in this place. His roommate is saying, though, you have to leave on Saturday when the fights happen because you're not paying.
And I think that is ridiculous. This is your roommate. This guy pays the rent. I'm sure he pays on time. It's never been an issue until he does not want to pay help and pay $60. Let me finish. You're not being respectful, Tanner.
Order in the court. Order.
You pay for every time you flush the toilet?
I'm going to hold you in contempt of court. If you don't, you better.
Tanner,
as your
attorney, Tanner, please be quiet and plead the fifth.
Go ahead, Ashley.
Like I was saying before I was interrupted, he pays rent. He lives there. These other guys, of course, they need to help pay for this fight because they're coming over and they're using your electricity. They're using your bathroom. They're eating your food. Your roommate lives there already. He's already contributing. So, no, he does not need to send you money for a fight that's already going to be on display and paid for thanks to the people you're inviting over.
800-409-9393. If you are listening right now, it is your civic duty. You must call into the show and come to a decision. Tanner should be able to basically evict his roommate for the night. Tell him, hey, you can't be in your own place that you live in because you're not paying your way to be here. We're paying for a fight night. That you got to pay for the pay-per-view.
Your Honor, I would like to make a point,
yes,
and I think Ashley actually brought it up for me. Thank you, Ashley. When you go in with somebody on a living situation, you agree to split certain things, which is i.e. rent, bills, utilities, stuff like that. UFC is one of those extra things. So if Tanner's roommate is not willing to fork up the money for the extra things, then he should be having to pay or get the hell out.
Here, 800-409-9393. We're getting a ton of people
already paying for. What about the roof over the head?
We're getting a ton of people calling in. We'll talk to the jury next. Judge Joe Show.
Plaintiff Tanner has called the defendant Jack to court after putting a verbal eviction notice on his cheap-ass roommate. Jack claims that he is not a cheap-ass roommate and claims that Tanner is an unreasonable whack job. Tanner wants Jack out of their apartment Saturday night when he has friends over to watch the fight. Tanner believes Jack should not be there because he won't help pay for the pay-per-view. Jack refuses to pay and believes he should not only be allowed to be home during the fights, but also in the room the boys are all watching it in. It's cheap ass versus whack job. All rise for Judge Joe Show.
Tanner and Jack, we already talked to you guys. A ton of people are on hold. They want to talk to you both and come to a decision. This is Judge Joe Show on 93.3 FLZ. Ashley representing Jack and then Jed representing Tanner. Here we go, boys. Let's talk to Natasha first. Natasha, as you hear this, should Jack be basically kicked out of his apartment?
I think no. As someone who's thrown fight parties with roommates, I've never asked my roommates to pay for the fight.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Yep.
Thank you.
Jack's excited about that. That's one for Jack.
Thank you. My name's Jack, and I'm a broke bitch. Thank you,
Tanner,
Natasha. Thank you.
Hey, Judge, what? Why didn't you ask him who bought the TV? I'll answer. It was me. He didn't buy the TV.
Interesting. Now, Bobby is on the phone now.
Did your mom buy the TV and you dragged it from your old place?
What did you ask him if he charges his friends? If he charges his friends a little bit to pay for the Wi-Fi when they come over, he does. Who's the cheap ass?
All right. This is obviously you guys are very heated, and I can't even imagine you both going home tonight. But Bobby, you are on whose side?
Tanner.
Why is that?
Mm-hmm.
Because if everybody else is chipping in to watch the fight, why should he not have to?
Because I paid for the roof, because I paid for the walls, because I paid for the TV, because I paid for everything else.
You split everything because you live in the same place.
Oh, you guys sound like awful roommates.
This is extra stuff.
Tanner's not the landlord. He's my roommate. He doesn't tell me when I come and go. He's not the landlord.
Juror Sarah.
Hey, when you have buddies over and you do your little, I don't know what, Warcraft party or whatever you do, I leave. I give you your privacy, but hey.
That's your choice. I told you can play.
All right. Juror Sarah, you are on, and you also have a 9-year-old in your car. So we have 2 jurors on the phone right now, and you both have come to a decision. Go ahead.
Every time we go over to a friend's house, family's house, we at least ask if there is something we can bring. If you don't want to pay anything, not even $5 or even a 6-pack, just stay in your room. But how are you going to not contribute and still want to watch the fight? Yes, you pay rent. Yes, that's your roof, but your roommate also pays rent. That is also his roof, and he is still contributing.
So should I charge him every time he wants to watch the TV? Should I charge him to use the TV?
Juror James, you're with Jack and Tanner. Very heated right now. Tanner paying for fight night, inviting friends over to their place. They're roommates. Tanner's telling Jack that he's got to leave if he's not paying for the fight. You got to get out of our place.
They're like 2 little kids fighting over a crown. Why can't they just move the venue? for the fight instead of being right there.
Exactly.
James, because
There
nobody
you
wants
go.
to pay $20 cover James at a
Or
bar
somebody else's
or somebody
house.
else's house. It
It
just
could
gets
be.
messy.
No,
Juror James, I will hold you in contempt of court.
Okay, cheap ass. You don't want to pay. You don't want to pay to go to someone else's house.
Juror James, I got to turn them down. Juror James, I need you to come to a decision though. I'll hang up on you and hold you in contempt of court. Whose side are you on?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
It's okay.
It's
okay.
At least bring a 6-pack of beer or something. So I go with the guy
Thank you.
that pays for the.
Guilty.
Guilty.
There's
Yeah,
food in
yeah.
the fridge that I already paid for. There's 6-packs in the fridge I already
Guilty.
paid for. They drink my beer.
Jack, shut up.
They drink
He
my
said guilty.
beer. They use my
Respect the
ketchup
court.
when they the
Guilty.
cheeseburgers that he's so precious with. The cheeseburgers. They use my ketchup. They use my mustard.
Oh my God.
They drink my beer.
I don't even know why you want to watch the fight. You're such a girly boy. Minus most the boy. Broke little bitch.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm the girly boy. You're the one who. Yeah. Okay.
I'm the girly boy. I'm the girly boy. My name's Jack. Jack. Shut up.
Who sounds like the bitch
Get the
now?
hell
Who
out.
sounds like the bitch?
people have spoken.
Who
The
sounds
people
like the
have
bitch? I
spoken.
think it's Tanner. Tanner.
Tanner and Jack, we must go to deliberation and decide who wins. Tanner and Jack, I'm going to put you
Guilty.
back on hold. If we do not get to talk when we come to this decision, sometimes we don't. I know, Jack, that you do start work at 8:30. I just want to say that I feel bad for the both of you. You guys got to live with each other, and I can't even imagine what tonight's going to be like. Jack and Tanner, I'm going to put you on hold. Jurors, 97720, text in. Get on our free iHeart. We're giving away a cruise on our iHeartRadio app right now. Get on our iHeartRadio app. Leave us a talk back. Tell us who you believe should win. Judge Joe Show will come to our decision in 3 minutes.
Plaintiff Tanner has called the defendant Jack to court after putting a verbal eviction notice on his cheap-ass roommate. Jack claims that he is not a cheap-ass roommate and claims that Tanner is an unreasonable whack job. Tanner wants Jack out of their apartment Saturday night when he has friends over to watch the fight. Tanner believes Jack should not be there because he won't help pay for the pay-per-view. Jack refuses to pay and believes he should not only be allowed to be home during the fights, but also in the room the boys are all watching it in. It's cheap ass versus whack job. All rise for Judge Joe Show.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for serving your civic duty. More votes than ever with this one. We break a record every single week, which is amazing. Seeing this show grow the way it has, I mean, my God, it's the best. If you missed it, check it out on our free iHeartRadio app. One of those moments that you definitely want to listen to. We podcast everything live, so make sure you hit that follow and subscribe button there. Ladies and gentlemen, we find Jack to be the winner. It's Jack's place as well. He should not have to be kicked out of his own residence. We find Jack, and by the way, we, as in you, I have nothing to do with this. I know Ashley's rooting for him because she represented him. Jed's not happy because he was representing
Jed's
Tanner.
a cheap bitch.
At the end of the day, this is because of you voting on it. We do it every single Thursday. Do not miss the next Judge Joe Show.